Hi, my name is Agnes Lawson. I am a digital art major with a business marketing minor. And today, for my modern art history presentation, I was hoping to discuss marketing and how the poster art of the late 1800s still influences us in the graphic arts today. To start, I wanted to focus on some contemporary marketing. This is a traditional Camel poster. You'll see that since 1913, which they have had posters this entire time, but since I am discussing their previous influence on modern day contemporary marketing, this is this poster. It is from 2005 and it shows a woman with the strap down on her tank top. She's not wearing a bra, so you can see through a little, and her in less enjoyment in this photo, but the sensualization of smoking is definitely evident. You'll see that the brand name is at the top, and any extra information tends to be in smaller font throughout. This seems to be fairly obvious design points that I am pointing out, but just less than 150 years ago, 200 years ago, posters were not being designed in this way. Ads created in the earlier 1800s, printed in newspapers, would have just been blocks of text. They didn't really tend to have large printed images of people because printing presses were not capable of that. So unless it was a poster, it was a block of text. This, being printed in a newspaper, would not have even been conceived of at the time. You'll see that, just as in the last photo, the woman is showing a fair bit of skin. She seems more to be inviting the viewer in, and the brand Job, which is a very popular brand of cigarettes at the time, is featured at the top. The date discrepancy is due to the fact that this poster was printed multiple times, and this particular woman with the brand at the top was reused multiple times by Cheret. This was the best image I could find on the internet for this poster, so that is where the date discrepancy comes into play. You'll see here with Alphonse Munch, he is a Czech artist. You'll see that the design, the layout is similar but different. The figure is still important. The name of the brand is at the top. She does cover it, but it's likely because of the fact that this was a popular brand. If you remember, Cheret is from Paris, which is the western side of Europe, and Alphonse Munch was advertising across Europe, both in Paris as well as in Czech or Czechoslovakia, which is its new name since the war, and that is in Eastern Europe. So this covers the whole continent of Europe. So this brand was very popular. So there was no concern of covering the brand name. You'll see here that both women are the primary feature. They take up a lot of the information space, and they don't leave a lot for the brand or any additional information. This is completely intentional. They don't really care entirely that the first thing you see is the brand name. The first thing that you want to see is the figure enjoying her cigarette. And then you get the messaging from Job that, oh, this woman enjoyed the cigarette. Okay, it's because of Job. You'll see here, there's no woman. And I intended this for a reason. This is from the 1980s, so this is still before internet marketing became extremely popular, although by this time, poster and print marketing were definitely heavily used, especially in the lower 48. You'll see here the figure, if we take it out of the mindset of being a woman and place it into the object itself, the figure is intended to be artistic. This is supposed to be a beautiful rendition of the cigarette. Now, this is a commission. This is a commission that Muratti intended for Andy Warhol to make. It's actually the print itself that they used for the commission is 40 inches by 40 inches, so this is also very large and has still been featured in galleries. But you'll see that the brand name, still not the primary focus. This is intended to be a larger piece, a pretty piece to sell the object. Now, this is one of my favorite TV shows, and it did feature Robin Williams. They talk a lot. You'll see here even promoting their TV show. Primary figure, less so the brand name. And you'll see with TV shows, this tends to happen where the title of the show even overtakes the brand of the channel itself. Now, when it comes to being a modern artist, especially in the ad world, you are not the only artist, and rarely will your name be associated with an advertisement. You'll see here, this brand, had you not looked up specifically this ad, you would not know who the artist is. And you'll see that the artist is not exclusive to one person. The copywriter, for the terminology, is the person that writes the copy, which is the text used in an advertisement. And for this sake, the artist is the photographer. In the end, the creative and art directors have the final say, so some of this is probably not what the end of the copy and the photography were. There are probably many different sketches that were the primary one was picked. But in the end, the agency itself is who will be accredited when associating with this. But even then, most people, when they identify an ad, they will point to the brand and less so the actual artist. So there's a loss of the artist's name, but more so the design itself is what I'm focusing on. You'll see they did almost completely drop the brand itself here, but they focused on the font of what the goal is. They want you to see the beautiful woman and how she feels, and then realize, oh, this is a brand. This isn't just her feelings. You'll see that this continues to happen. The brand tends to get smaller in modern advertising. They, not exclusively, but they tend to drop it off to the side and have the woman and what she's saying and her opinion is coming into play, but not always in the best of ways, as you'll see in these two images. Now, to move on, we have these two comparisons here. Neither of them are looking out. They both have the brand at the top, which they are both partially hiding in more and less terms. We do see that they are both focused on the woman itself and her experiencing the cigarette. And then we'll see here, the woman is wearing a bright yellow dress, and this comparison initially was not on purpose for the yellow dress, but it's kind of a happy accident. She is enjoying her alcohol, and the Cheret woman is enjoying her cigarette. And that enjoyment is selling the piece. You'll see the brand is very small, but that's the point. They want you to react to the woman and then associate with the brand. They're hoping that you'll spend a little bit longer, and this being a print ad rather than a social media ad, they are expecting those people to be taking their time in their magazines. I hope through today's presentation you have been able to see how the history of poster art has influenced today's contemporary marketing, the layout of the brand as compared to the supporting text, and the product and figure does tend to have a traditional layout, which has been successful for the last century and a half, almost a century and a half. I hope if you feel free to ask any questions in class or after class, depending on the time allowances. And feel free to check out my references. There's a lot more information available at these websites here. Thank you.